The silent shadows. The wind howled through the night as the storm raged on, waves crashing against the hull of the old, rusty freighter. Captain Jack stood at the helm, gripping the wheel tightly, his knuckles white with tension. Beside him, First Mate Sarah peered through the rain-soaked window, trying to make sense of the chaotic sea outside. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more thrilling stories like this. Suddenly, a deafening crash echoed through the ship, followed by the piercing sound of metal tearing apart. The ship lurched violently, throwing Jack and Sarah to the floor. As they scrambled to their feet, the ship began to list dangerously to one side. "We've hit something," Jack shouted over the roar of the storm. "We need to evacuate the crew," he said. Sarah nodded, her heart pounding in her chest. She grabbed the ship's intercom and called out to the crew, ordering them to abandon ship. Panic spread like wildfire as the crew members hurried to the lifeboats, the ship sinking rapidly beneath them. Jack and Sarah helped the last of the crew into the lifeboats before climbing in themselves. As they rowed away from the sinking ship, they watched in horror as it was swallowed by the dark, churning waters. The lifeboats drifted aimlessly through the night, the storm showing no signs of letting up. The crew huddled together, their faces pale with fear and exhaustion. Hours passed, and the first light of dawn began to break through the storm clouds. Suddenly, one of the crew members let out a blood-curdling scream. Jack and Sarah turned to see what had caused the commotion and were met with a sight that made their blood run cold. Emerging from the water were ghostly, shadowy figures, their eyes glowing with an eerie, otherworldly light. The crew backed away in terror as the apparitions drew closer, their wraith-like forms gliding effortlessly over the surface of the water. Jack's mind raced as he tried to comprehend what he was seeing. Were these the spirits of sailors lost at sea, doomed to haunt the waters forever? Just as the first of the ghostly figures reached the lifeboat, the storm began to abate, the wind dying down and the waves calming. The apparitions stopped their advance, their glowing eyes fading as they slowly sank back beneath the surface. The crew sat in stunned silence, the only sound the gentle lapping of the waves against the lifeboat. Jack and Sarah exchanged a look, the unspoken question hanging between them. What had they just witnessed? As the sun rose higher in the sky, the lifeboats drifted towards a distant shore. The crew, still shaken by their encounter, could only hope that they would never have to face the silent shadows of the deep again.